Hip number 1 from Athletics Eston and Ryan Geard. Hip number 2 from Coburg Harris, Luke Matthews. From the Ringwood Club, Chris Discombe from Athletics Eston and Mitchell Brown. Ringwood's Tom Fawthorpe. From the Wendouree Club, Mitch Thompson. From Ringwood, Tim Norton. Adrian McLean from Athletics Nunawading. Deacons, Nicholas Whiteman. Box Hills, Michael Dow. From Ringwood, Dean Tromp. Ben Buckingham from the St Stephen's Harriers and David Ireland from Keilor St Bernard's rounds out the 13 athlete field. Our starter, Brendan Ferrari, is making his way into position. He's calling the athletes in. This is the men's Victorian Mile Championship for 2014. So from the inside out, you have to favour Matthews and Geard, the front runners, the top seeds. Their best times over 1,500 metres, 3:46.01.98 respectively. Geard, the better of it slightly, but Matthews is in some red hot form at the moment on the track. He took out an impressive victory at the Junior Championships in the Under-20 event. He's of course chasing a berth at the World Junior Championships at the home of American Track and Field in Oregon. Of course, Haywood Field, a field of dreams for many track athletes, but tonight it's Rawlinson's track, where we might find the dream come true to become a Victorian champion for one of these athletes in the open ranks, maybe for the first time. So Geard, Matthews, Discombe, Brown, of course, we've seen on the international stage at the World Cross Country Championships. He's a national cross country title winner. He's been a medalist at the Zatopek, or at least in the Victorian and National Championships over 10,000 metres. But at the front of the field for the early stages, Adrian McLean. Up onto his shoulder there, Fawthorpe, Matthews and Geard, a gap back there, Whiteman, Discombe, Mitchell Brown there. Having to work wide, Mitchell, Thompson. Thompson and Matthews, as it would be, not unfamiliar with one another. They had an enthralling battle over 800 metres at the APS Championships last year as school-aged athletes. On that occasion it was Matthews that prevailed and stopped just inside a World Junior standard for that 2-lap event. So athletes at the front of the field, McLean and indeed Fawthorpe, have made their intentions known from the outset, comfortable to go it alone at the front of the field, leaving their more fancied adversaries to battle out by themselves, and they're going to have to pick up ground over the last 2 laps. So we're going to see where the pace is. Of course, the 4-minute mile, they've been the gold standard of athletics for many years. Might not see that tonight. Blustery conditions, not ideal for that. And we might just start to see this field come back together. So Fawthorpe looks comfortable with McLean. Almost a trademark style, lean, wide elbows. Fawthorpe very compact, and it's Geard now that's gone off the front of that main group. Matthews just looks composed and happy to let people go past him, maybe not feeling it tonight. Whiteman, Mitchell Brown now going past there for Athletics S, and he's going to have to put on a spurt to make up ground. We're inside the last 2 laps. The Victorian Mile Championship for 2014. Still McLean, Fawthorpe, Geard's now going to join them. Brown will have to do some work there with Matthews and Whiteman. If they're going to bring that second group on the track back to our lead trio. And if they're not careful, this race could be over before we even hit the bell. As our lead 3 just starting to make their way into the home stretch, second to last time. Geard will join them, and if you back him in, if he's right there with them at the bell, he's got the pedigree to come home with the state title. So Geard, Fawthorpe, McLean, and it's Geard. He's made a long run from home. Mitchell Brown now starting to wind up. He's definitely got the distance pedigree behind him to make that long run back there to Discombe, Whiteman, Thompson, Ireland there for Keilor St Bernard's, Matthews dropping back through the field, and it's Geard at the front. Alongside him, Fawthorpe, McLean, Brown now starting to wind up to 300 metres from home, has a long way to go, but has that long kick in him and really starting to unwind now is Brown in 3rd place. Back at the front of the field, it's Geard, head-to-head with Fawthorpe, but Brown starting to really make ground up off them. 10 metres might be starting to just close up as they start to move again at the front of the field. Fawthorpe the first to make the move. Geard on his shoulder. Brown has a lot of work to do as they straighten up. Fawthorpe will lead him in. Geard's going to have to go round him if he wants the title. Fawthorpe up the stretch. Brown now's moved up to Geard, who's been dropping back. Mitchell Brown trying to find some extra territory onto Tom Fawthorpe, but it's going to be too little too late. Tom Fawthorpe will take the mile here at Rawson's track. 4:09. Mitchell Brown in behind him. Back to Geard, Whiteman and Discombe. We'll round out the top 5. Thompson comes in, along with Norton and Ireland.
Not much to say really. I'm glad the pace went out pretty quick. Probably about 10 guys that could have won that race tonight. So when Adrian went for it, I was all up for it to go with him. So yeah, just try to hang on for as long as possible, and it worked out well.
There was definitely a few moves during the race. Obviously, Adrian was out there early. Ryan Geard got up there for a while too. Were you sort of worried about the tactics, or you just had it in your own mind, you knew what you were going to do?
Yeah, that's kind of how I wanted to pan out. I just wanted to kind of go for it tonight. The headwind sort of put me off a little bit, but then when Adrian was out there, I could just sit on him. Wasn't too worried about Geardy coming back because I knew they were going to have to do a lot of work to get back on me. So I just really ran my own race and didn't worry about too many other people.
Now this is your first Victorian Open Championship. How does that feel?
Yeah, great. Been trying for a while at the mile, so it's about my 4th or 5th time. So a few years ago, just lost to Clarkey, so that was disappointing, and then 4th the other year, and I think 5th one other year. So it's good to finally get a win.
Territory onto Tom Fawthorpe, but it's going to be too little too late. Tom Fawthorpe will take the mile here at Rawson's track, 4:09.